Great day, my dear students. I hope everyone's doing well today. I am Miss Debbie S. Almares, your English 7 teacher. Brace yourself because we will talk about the first lesson in English for quarter 1, completing an analogy. In this video, we will answer the following questions. What is an analogy? What are the types of analogy? How to complete an analogy, and how to create a sentence using an analogy. What is an analogy? An analogy shows how two unlike things are related to each other based on their resemblance or likeness of a particular aspect. It focuses on the relationship between words. For example, leaf is the tree as petal is the flower. Leaf and tree are different things and are unlike. Same is true with petal and flower. Although different, there is a significant relationship between these words. The relationship shown here is that the leaf is part of a tree and petal is part of a flower. Take note that a single colon is used to divide the analogy into two parts, and the double colon divides the first and second analogy. The single colon is verbalized or read as is to, while the double colon represents the word as. Therefore, this example is read like this. Leaf is the tree as petal is the flower. There are several types of analogies, but we will focus only on these 6 types: synonyms, antonyms, part and whole, characteristics, function, cause and effect. Synonym analogy deals with the similarity in meaning. Example, adorable is to charming as scary is to creepy. Adorable and charming have the same meaning, so are scary and creepy. Antonym analogy refers to words with opposite meaning. Example, easy is to hard as wise is to foolish. Easy is the opposite of hard and wise is the opposite of foolish. Part to whole analogy shows that an item makes up the totality of a certain item. Example, paw is to dog as beak is to bird. Paw is part of a dog and beak is part of a bird. Characteristics analogy refers to the quality, feature, and description of an item. Example, balloon is to light as brick is to heavy. Balloon is described as light, while the characteristic of brick is heavy. Function analogy shows how a certain item is used or what it is intended for. Example, shovel is to dig as helmet is to protect. This example shows that shovel is used to dig and helmet is used to protect. Cause and effect analogy shows what a certain event or thing can lead to. Example, fatigue is to yawning, as itching is to scratching. When a person experiences fatigue or tiredness, he will keep on yawning, and if something is itching, he will then keep on scratching that specific area. How to complete an analogy? In completing an analogy, you have to first identify the relationship of the first pair of analogy. Let's look at this example. Knife is to cut as ruler is to blank. The analogy on the left side of the double colon will help us to think of the word that will complete the other analogy on the right. We have to identify the relationship between knife and cut. Based on the 6 types of analogy we mentioned earlier, it can be noted that knife is to cut falls under the type function because knife is used to cut. Therefore, we have to think of a word that will tell the use or function of a ruler. A possible answer could be measure. The ruler is used to measure. The complete analogy will now be knife is to cut as ruler is to measure. How to create a sentence using an analogy. Let's use this analogy. Spin is to dizzy as jump is to elevate. One possible sentence that we can make out of this analogy is this. When you spin many times, you will feel dizzy. And when you jump, you will elevate from one position to another. In using analogies in a sentence, we don't just simply say spin is to dizzy as jump is to elevate. this is not a sentence. This is just a way of verbalizing the analogy. Let's use an analogy in meaningful sentences. I hope you were able to learn from this video. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you so much, everybody, and remember to always keep on doing great.